Hey, happy Thursday, everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. Today I wanted to talk about records, solo records by musicians who were an integral part of a band. Then, for whatever reason, the band broke up, they left, and what is the best album they produced after the breakup or after the resignation? I picked 10. I ranked them because I'm a ranker wanker. So number 10, I'm going with this dude, Robert Plant, after Zeppelin untimely demise. Well, not untimely because I think it was time, but the demise after John Bonham passed away and they decided to call it quits. Robert produced quite a few solo albums before the one that I'm going to show. And all of them had great tracks on them, and all of them had some filler. I don't know if he ever made one, like, really just from start to finish, incredible album. But my favorite is, I think the most recent one, which is still a couple of years old now, is Carry Fire. I really, really like this album. This is one I can play from start to finish, and especially love the title track, Carry Fire. If you haven't heard this album, you should check it out. Very good stuff. But Robert had a few. I imagine if any Plant fans out there, they're probably going to mention a couple of others. Next on the list, Eric Clapton. How many bands did Eric Clapton leave? John Mayall and the Yardbirds. He walked out of the Yardbirds to play with John Mayall. He left John Mayall to form Cream. Cream split up and he formed Blind Faith. Blind Faith split up and he started to play with Delaney and Bonnie. So take your pick, but the first Clapton solo album, self-titled Eric Clapton, is a pretty damn good album. And it was very influenced by Delaney Bramlett. If you're a fan of Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, you're probably a fan of this album. Some great tracks on here. After Midnight, great cover. Blues Power, fantastic song. Bottle of Red Wine, great track. Yeah, it's just a really, really solid album from Eric. Different from where he would go. So, but really, really good album. Next, Eric's partner in crime, Jack Bruce. Jack Bruce made a great solo album. This was also his first solo album, as far as I know. I'm sure if I'm wrong, someone will correct me. Songs for a Tailor. Just a great, great record. He has his version of the song that he wrote, Theme from an Imaginary Western, which Mountain did an incredible job on. Rope Ladder to the Moon. Just a really solid album from Jack Bruce. Such a talented man. So talented. Jack put out a ton of great solo albums. 7, Ian Hunter. Mott the Hoople. I picked You're Never Alone with a Schizophrenic. That's my favorite Ian Hunter studio album. Great, great album. What are we looking at the tracks on here? Just Another Night is on here. Cleveland Rocks is on here. The Outsider is on here. Probably my favorite Ian Hunter song. Great album. You're Never Alone with a Schizophrenic. And trust me, I know. Number 6 on my list. This gentleman decided not to continue with Genesis because he didn't feel like his contributions were being respected enough, and he had lots to say, and he wasn't getting a chance to say it. So I'm going with one of my favorite guitar players, Steve Hackett. Fantastic. And I picked Spectral Mornings. Just that song alone is so good. Great instrumental track. There's the vinyl. I'm trying to see what else is on here. Every Day is on here. Clocks. Um, yeah, great album from Mr. Hackett. Who, in August, has another live. The series of live albums he's put out have just been phenomenal. He's got a new one coming out in August. Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, plus Hackett hits. How many have I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top 5. My girl, Janice. Big Brother and the Holding Company. They play Monterey Pop. She becomes a superstar overnight. At some point, she takes on Albert Grossman, Dylan's manager, as her manager. And he wants her out of there, and he wants to make her a star on her own, in her own right. And they put together this band. It was actually put together by Michael Bloomfield, believe it or not. And Michael plays on this album. But I love this album. This is a great one. And it's got Try on it, Maybe, As Good As You've Been to This World, her cover of To Love Somebody, the Bee Gees song. Cosmic Blues is great. And, of course, Little Girl Blue, which is, I think, her greatest vocal performance. But Janice. Number 4, Neil Young. I included Neil Young after Buffalo Springfield. Neil put out his first album, self-titled Neil Young, which isn't a bad album. It's not my go-to Neil album, but I think the next one, Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere with Crazy Horse, is the album. Top 3 Neil Young album for me. Incredible record. Number 3. You can't discuss breakups of bands and bands dissolving without talking about the Beatles. And I should have included George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. So that was just an oversight on my part. I'm just thinking about it now. Let's give All Things Must Pass a special award. The great thing about All Things Must Pass is that it came out kind of just under the radar, and people just realized how much great music George Harrison had that he just couldn't get played on records. I mean, who can knock Paul and John off of an album? You know what I mean? George did pretty good as it is. And then he comes out with that album of all those great songs. Amazing. But I'm going with McCartney's, you could argue Ram, you could argue Band on the Run, and I'm sure other people have other favorites, but I'm going with my favorite, Venus and Mars. That's, it's just, Ram was always my favorite, and I always thought it was the best, but Venus and Mars is the album I always listen to, so I'm going, why do I always say Ram's my favorite whenever I play McCartney, it seems to be Venus and Mars. So, number 2, Peter Gabriel decides to leave Genesis. Now, he put out, I don't know how many albums before this. Those first 4 albums with the scratching and the windshields and the melting, and they're all excellent albums. But my favorite is So. Just is my favorite. I can't help it. Great album. Every song is fantastic. Of course, it's got the great track with Kate Bush, Don't Give Up. But it's Sledgehammer, which was a huge hit for him. In Your Eyes, Mercy Street. Wow, what a record this is. Fantastic. Red Rain. Man, beautiful, beautiful record. Peter Gabriel, my number 2. And my number 1, again, another Beatle. John Lennon, Plastic Ono Band. Man, what an album. 1970. Just gut-wrenching, honest, emotional. It's just an incredible listen. It really is just one of the greatest albums of all time. Fantastic. That's my number 1, is Plastic Ono Band, John Lennon. There are tons of them, and I'm sure I'm going to get a list of them underneath as this video plays and you watch. So, and I'm very excited to hear that. I love your comments. I try and answer everyone. If I miss something, I apologize profusely, but please keep the comments coming. The communication is so rewarding, and everyone have a great day.